Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on a fun topic, and that is, what does it mean to be real? What does it mean to be genuine? What does it mean to be authentic? What does it mean to stop playing the games? What does it mean to stop being negative? What does it mean to stop the charades? Being catty, being gossipy, being negative, talking about people behind their back, triangulation, gaslighting, all the different techniques that a narcissistic individual will use in order to prop themselves up, in order to get command, in order to get control, and in order to get power over others. Taunting others with the display of their belongings, showing off their possessions, showing off their talent. It's not, I don't just mean, what does it mean just to be false? Because someone with a lot of talent can be very genuine. Where there's talent which is fake, which is all about very grandiose and sort of, I'm better than everybody else, and they've got their nose in the air. And then there's talent which, when you see it, you just want to melt into your chair. You want to just give a standing ovation because you see the human triumph. Usually there's something very moving about it. There's something very profound, something ethereal, something intangible that you find admirable. You can really admire it. But when it comes to the false, oftentimes, you can't stay in the false for very long. You cannot keep up the charade. You cannot keep up the house of cards. You cannot keep up the lies. Being real means not being false. It means not keeping the low integrity, the pathology of the lies going on. There is a tremendous amount of information out there about psychopaths and narcissism and things of that nature, but when it hits home to you. And you have to know yourself of what is real for you, what is genuine for you, where you resonate, where you want to live your life, where the things you want to feel, the things you want to experience, the things you want to do, the things you want to become, and not as a reaction to being false. And I find what's very sad is that oftentimes you have the social media sites like the Facebook, which encourage a lot of falseness or a lot of show-off behavior from the youth of our culture today. You can't go to a store without seeing people doing a selfie on the escalator. You can't go for a walk without someone trying to take a selfie where they're trying to, post it to their Facebook in order just to, create a false self of like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And it's a very high maintenance sort of lifestyle. And I've had a number of people who are of that very young generation tell me that they don't like Facebook. It's a high maintenance activity. They feel like they constantly have to, update their profile or update their likes or this and this and this. So it's not really serving them. It's not really beneficial. It's not therapeutic. It's not about relationship creation. In fact, it's a very narcissistic. It's creating a false self. It's creating a false image of what their life is like, and then their life is really not like that. So I find that very sad. And I guess, some people love Facebook and things of that nature, and they feel it's a great way to stay in touch, but yet there's a certain amount of vapidness. There's a certain amount of emptiness or in reality. Just like, a narcissist relationship, oftentimes, they're going to want to control the terms at which you communicate to them. So, you might be texting them too much. You might be texting them too little. You might be Facebook too much. You might be Facebook too little. It's, it's a very sort of false life that is, I think, I don't know where it gets people, and I really am wondering about the productivity, because to me, real means productive. It means having a real impact. It means moving life in a positive direction. It means connecting with others in a positive manner. Real means, to me, enhancing of health. enhancing of appreciation, enhancing of one's strengths, and getting in tune and in touch with one's strengths, and then being able to expand. Not only it's like the Free to Be You and Me, Marlo Thomas. I mean, it's getting back to that utopia. It's getting back to that awareness of being happy, of being joyful, of being in the flow, of being able to dance, of being able to be, in the moment, having the moment, being uplifted, being inspired, being at your optimal thought, your clarity, your ability to think, your ability to synthesize, your ability to problem solve, your ability to function. It's enhancing of those. To me, that is what is real. What is fake is what is done for show, what is done to appease, what is done to pacify, what is done to secure conditions for a relationship. So very condition oriented, where you have to meet someone else's standards rather than living to your own standards. Someone who's constantly criticizing and gossiping about others, I find that to be very false behavior. Someone who is insultory of other people or races constantly, I find that to be very false. People who tend to just live not by their word, who say one thing and do another, that is also very false. People who can't back themselves up, they just have a falseness about them. It's very narcissistic. They're lying to themselves, so they're lying to others. So it's very important to make that inner journey, and that journey should be something that is comforting. I feel that your life, in essence, should be in attune with that higher source or that higher calling. Because if you're not there, you're on someone else's dream or you're in someone else's calling. And it's very important for you to articulate that. So that's why I talk about the recovery journal and, getting back there and knowing what is real to you. Because oftentimes a chronic relationship with a narcissist, one is in essence trapped by the falseness or living to please a narcissist or psychopathic abuser. And furthermore, like lying to, if they're living a lie, then you're going to live a lie by proxy. So it's like feeling like you're living a lie, feeling like you're having to hide something. Those individuals who are hiding affairs, I find that living in falseness, if living in falsehood, if that is how one wishes to conduct their life, so be it. But I don't feel it's living in connection with truth or validity. I think it's a hiding. I think it's a false persona that they are then presenting to somebody else, and that creates a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy for psychopathic and narcissistic people to live a pathological lie, to lie on many levels. So I think embracing your truth begins with the real, and it begins with the I am. And sometimes that I am is very simple, but it's very profound. And so we talk about the affirmations, and we talk about getting in touch and getting a sense of who you are, and being able to value that I am, and knowing that you have an integral, important part of life, and that it's really in the surrendering to that, and the surrendering of judgment, which oftentimes the narcissists and psychopathic individuals are extremely and excessively judgmental. That when you're able to release that judgment, you feel a weight lifted off of you. You're releasing their judgment on you, because chances are, if you're recovering from a narcissistic relationship, you've had to endure a tremendous amount of judgment. And yes, there's always going to be some parameters in judgment, but that's part of the challenge of life, is that you need to internalize and own those standards for yourself and not have it externally to you, because then you're like on a treadmill, and you tend to burn out on that. So if it's an internally owned judgment, an internally owned standard, which means I'm setting certain standards or expectations for myself, that is what is real, and that's a passion, and that's what drives one forward, and that is authentic. That is owned by yourself. So it's like empowerment is owning owning your personal power, owning your vision, owning that which you want to be, have, and become, and not feeling dissatisfied if that doesn't come soon, but knowing that it's on its way. So that is what is real. And so part of what is real is knowing how reality is going to operate. And you can only know how reality is going to operate as if you test it and you try it and you stand on your own feet. So the people who have social anxiety because they've lived, under the mask of a narcissist, in their life, and it's difficult for them to go out. They feel afraid. They feel timid. They have, a fear that they're not going to be able to handle something that was unexpected. They have a difficulty embracing, their socialization. They feel they don't see the value in socializing. They don't see how they're growing because they're not able to go out there and do it. So you need to realize that you are able to grow authentically when you spread your wings and you fly and you actually go and try. And little by little, you'll begin to strengthen up those authentic and real legs. So, and the real, comes with eating real food too. If you are eating a lot of junk food, a lot of junk, things in excess, you're probably not feeling your best. So you need to cleanse your palate and get to a real menu, if you will, real ingredients, keeping more pure foods, keeping more pure drink. And everybody has their paps. I mean, everybody is drinking whatever it is that they have, but you need to, realize that your diet, in fact, impacts how you feel and your well-being as well. So, take advantage of some of the healthier foods and differentiate yourself in that way. Find what makes you feel good. If it's taking vitamins, if it's taking supplements, if it's going for a little bit of exercise, if you've been too stunted or depressed and you haven't gone out for a walk and you've become too sedentary, then change that up. Get the body moving. You got to keep it moving to keep the energy going and keep that real energy and that focus. And make sure you keep a goal, as we discussed in the recovery journal, keeping an objective, keeping a goal, keeping a 30-day goal, a 60-day goal, a 90-day goal, making sure that you're working towards those objectives and your vision, and making sure you're keeping that part of your life and really incorporating that and reminding yourself and then keying in and then becoming it, because it will start to reverberate. It will start to manifest. It will start to be able to create that reality, and you'll be able to live in really that surprise and that abundance, and not feeling like you're living a lie, but actually feel like you're living a wonderful reality, which is surprising and exciting and energizing. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.